The International Criminal Court is having their hands itching to receive the application from the Nigerian state against the Biafran agitation.
Ahua.
Sir.
What is your name?
My name is 06NA/59/5412 Corporal Toriola Adewale from Nigerian 16 Brigade. I'm serving at 16 Brigade Nigerian until I travel to this Okigwe, which I entered the Biafra Liberation Army. And as they had me since almost 2 or 3 days now, they made sure that they didn't do me any evil. They tell me that they are fighting for the liberation of the Biafra, that everything about me, they want to know, and that's why I'm explaining. And they don't do me any evil since I come. They take care of me as I beg them to forgive me and pardon me for a second chance in life. So they said they have heard me, that they are not to harm me or they are not wicked people. All what they want is to make sure that the Biafra liberate. So that is the reason why I'm here. I'm begging, and they said they have listened to me, that they will consider me, that they are not wicked people, that they will give me second chance.
What do you say is your name?
Corporal Toriola Adewale.
You are a Yoruba man?
Yes, sir.
A Yoruba man. You
Yes.
see now that, and now you are in the hands of the Biafran Liberation Army.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen the difference between the Zoo Janjaweed and the Biafran Liberation Army?
Yes, sir. I've seen the difference. It's not like the way we treated the Biafra people, the way they treated the ICC. So this very one, you people take care of me. You don't harm me. You don't do me any evil. You only ask me some question. As I'm answer, you say you are going to give me second chance.
Now, we are going to give you the second chance with one condition, that you will leave. You are going to leave Biafran land and never to come back again until Biafra is fully restored.
Yes, sir.
You now, what message do you have for your brothers, those idiots still remaining in that zoo military, that terrorist camp? What do you have to tell your brothers, those ones there? What message do you have for them?
My advice for my people, that they still remain in the armed forces, Yoruba and Igbo, whosoever. My advice for them is for everybody to go back to his own area, his own state, his own region, so that everybody will go on their own. That is my advice for them.
Tell them, call them, those ones in remaining from that place that you serve. Tell them your name so that they will see you very clearly. They know you. Tell your colleagues.
My advice to the soldier in 16th Brigade is that they should make sure that they resign and go to their own various area, because make the Nigeria divide, everybody go on their own. That is my advice for them. As you can see, Biafra is a thing that they must come to the pass. As the people are agitating, make our people, make everybody go on their own. That is my advice for them.
What message do you also have for your president, your Janjaweed president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
My advice for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and to stop looking for Samuel Ekpa, and to share the nation. Let the Biafra people go, and any other people that they seek for their own nation, so that everybody will be on their own and peace will be. That is my advice, sir.
So this message is for those people out there talking rubbish that Biafran Liberation Army, that we are terrorists. Look at the Fulani terrorists, the Fulani Janjaweed, the Nigerian terrorists, the Nigerian Janjaweed, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is your security. See, our strong message to you, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you have heard it from your so-called terrorist soldier. Release Nnamdi Kanu and stop looking for Biafran Liberation Army commanders. You cannot get them. We are not evil like you people. As you are leaving this particular place today, you are going back to Yoruba land. Go and fight for your own nation.
Yes, sir.
We are Biafran Liberation Army. We are not terrorists. We believe and practice. You cannot fight the Igbos. You cannot fight us. We cannot fight Biafran Liberation Army.
Yes, sir.
We are giving you a very strong message to divide this.
Thank you very much. You can Fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom all over the world, I greet you. This is still Ekpa Asokwo from Biafran Radical Freedom TV. Your one and only, the rugged. I don't want to take your time. I want us to quickly rush into why we are here. I want us to talk about taking the Biafra Republic government in exile to ICC by the Nigerian army and to the Amnesty International. Now there have been a lot of reactions, some of which you are going to see here. But this particular development has also led into a review of the legitimacy of Nigeria as a state. This starts from the review of the constitution from some of the Nigerian elites. Does Nigeria have a constitution that even qualifies it to be a state in the first place? That you are going to see here. Before we proceed, I want you to see through this. Please see what this man has to say while they debate. Please, thank you. Watch.
As the Nigerian army has called on Amnesty International and International Criminal Court (ICC) to take immediate action against Ekpa and IPOB leaders accountable for crimes against civilians in the southeast. The above named Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, has just responded to the Nigerian army call for international organizations to take immediate actions against him and other IPOB leaders. In his word, he said, They are terrorists at headquarters Nigerian army. The Biafran government has compiled a summary 35 pages of human rights violation against Biafran people. We will present over 500 pages at the ICC. Furthermore, he said, but you called our government that over 50 million Biafrans has given their mandate an online country. Am I no longer an online prime minister? I am asking the terrorists, he said. And at this point, one begins to wonder why is that the Simon Ekpa usually call or refers to Nigerian army as terrorists. Let us hear you. What do you know? What do you think? Hit the comment section and tell us what you think. MV Global Media reporting.
For the past 48 hours or around 38 to 40 hours ago, the internet has been so preoccupied with the development from the Nigerian army resolve to take the brigade to ICC, International Criminal Court, and the Amnesty International. See that on the screen, and you see how it's been what's dominated the internet space. You can see that. Okay, what you are seeing now, this is a genuine, we are showing you so that you know it is a genuine development. For some of you who don't know, I don't know, some of you who followed me or who follow me, you remember that within the last 7 days I broke a news related to this. Even that very one did not come to the public domain till today, until they bring it out in this way now. I told you the Northern Elders Forum held a meeting in Aso Villa. They held a meeting. They resolved to sue Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of Biafran Republic government in exile. They said he calls the zoo a name that is dishonorable, that he refers the zoo as a terrorist state. And today, during that period, a lot of people who responded, because I think a lot of people responded to that, people welcomed that development with open arms. Many people who commented, they were in affirmation with that threat, yes, that they should go ahead with it. Biafran people, in good faith, not as if they are bad Biafrans, no, they are good ones, because that is the easiest way. That is one thing we have always prayed for. And today again, when it appeared, maybe somebody woke them up. You know, I remember I said something in that. I said it will be like the issue of Aburi Accord, wherein Gov't, who was not literate enough, Yakubu Gov't, the then head of states to Nigerian states, who was an illiterate, kind of, didn't understand the term of the what he agreed, what he signed to. So once he got home, some of the few literate Fulani elites interpreted the content of that convention, that agreement. So he had to, you know, disagree with it. Now the Northern Elders Forum said they were going to sue Simon Ekpa, and I told you some people will interpret that, especially those of the Nigerian agents who follow us. They will go to interpret the implication of that to them. Now they calmed that one, they silenced it. Today, about 48 hours ago, the Nigerian army is up again. Remember, this whole thing started around last week when they began to apportion blame, you know, why their men are falling, and it is Simon Ekpa who casted spell and at them that with his occultic powers and all of that. Today, they have come out, since there is nothing else they know they can do. Using blackmail, using force, using coercion, using intimidation, using bullying and all of that. None of these approaches worked. So now they feel they should maybe threaten Simon Ekpa that they're taking it to ICC. Now, today, Biafrans are all again pleading with them not to pull down. They should keep the fire burning. They should go ahead and launch the case. So all Biafrans are now begging them, Musa, please, go ahead with this case. Go ahead with this case. Now, I think this has to do with some of the Local Republic, AGG. So now they are angry how people are lampooning them. How come your men have become so weak that the Simon Ekpa's men are really treating them like as if they don't have training at all? My dear brothers and sisters, those officers are really gallant. The men of the Nigerian army are really gallant. But the issue is that the force of the Biafran land have risen. The gods, they are rising up. They have kept quiet for too long. They are rising up. And they are about to do terrible things to the people that fight to destroy their children. They have awakened. They are entering into lives, into flesh. They are entering into lives now. It is a time for Chi and Igbo. Chi Nigerian and Igbo is rising. Now Biafra is rising. For some of you who are trying to, think or that these things we are doing is not working, we are deceiving ourselves, this is a joke and all of that, I want you to understand one thing. Even the things you think they are jokes, when they stay for too long, they become real. The things you take for joke or serious, you wouldn't know when it started becoming serious. Today, there is no how you open your news without hearing Simon Ekpa. The International Criminal Court is having their hands itching to receive the application from the Nigerian state against the Biafran agitation. But why they do that? Our PM is up with over 500-page reports, findings, and articles to convince the International Criminal Court and Amnesty International on how much pains, penury, agony, the humanizing treatments, the bully, the display of despise or hatred against a people, against the Biafran people, the all terrible inhuman offenses or human rights violations of the Nigerian state against the Biafran people. So he already articulated them through his lawyers and technocrats, and these documents are ready now to fly. Only we are begging on the Nigerian army to do good, make bold its threats. We are waiting to receive that in good faith. Please do good. Please, it will give us a lot of relief, and it will hasten the step of our agitation foot. So, lovers of freedom, this development is in very, very good light. So don't see it a threat. It is a continuation of the abandoned threat from the Northern Elders Forum, and today we are more positive that before the weekend we would have seen the Nigerian army, we would have seen a notice from the International Criminal Court and Amnesty International. Now, the analysts, maybe I think I should allow you to listen to watch this analysis, response or reactions from the Nigerian elites, scholars, and the journalists, or should I say media houses. So watch with me. Thank you.
Constitution, which was intentionally mad and cajoled, with landmines and lacunae that people can come in and look at. For instance, let me tell you Section 10 of the Nigerian Constitution, why we're having this problem, and why we're saying that Nigeria is not a nation of itself. It's not a nation, an entity. It's a country, like I was described, as a geographical expression, but not a nation state. You understand? We don't have this in Section 10. Constitution says that Nigeria shall be a secular state, that no state shall prefer or prefer religion. But is that true? It is not true. If it is true, why do we have Sharia? Why is it that Kano House of Assembly can make laws for the governance of the state through Sharia government? Why do we have Sharia courts that we do what? Do what now? Are they not going to determine issues of offenses, criminal etc. in the Sharia courts of law and justice? And you say that is a country of one nation? No. Why do we have in the northern part the Criminal Procedure Code, and in the southern part we have Criminal Procedure Act? And let me tell you, Nigerians today, that the reason why a man like Wadume, a terrorist, a kidnapper, and a man that was adjudged by court to be a killer, even killing policemen on uniform and army men on uniform, was taken to court, sentenced, and within 2 days he's out of whatever I say, he has served his sentence. Today is a chief in his place, because the criminal procedure code of the northern part allows that kind of a thing. But in the southern part, where the Criminal Procedure Act, if Wadume were to come from here, what is the difference between himself and that kidnapper Evans that is still in detention? See the prison process today. What is the difference? Is it not what they did? Even as it is, Evans is not even murder or did one or two things. The reason why now the Kano might not get, look at all these things we are talking about, these niceties we're trying to paint situations here. The reason why he might not, be out of prison for a very long time is because of this dichotomy of CPC and CPA, and they are using that to hold down, Nnamdi Kanu in detention, and it's so sad for me. Okay. I do not want to go further than that. Let me not eat time.
All right.
All right. Let us continue now. What is the challenge? If you go to Punch newspaper, you will see what the Punch, how Punch captured it. They even quoted the army chief. So, according to the Punch newspaper, Nigerian army has asked Amnesty International and the International Criminal Court to take immediate action. They should take immediate action to pick up or to hold the outlawed indigenous people of Biafra and its sponsor, Mazi Simon Ekpa, accountable for the criminals or crimes against civilians in the southeast. Now, Simon Ekpa is telling them, Simon Ekpa is responding, please, Musa, you are my guy, please, can you make sure you make this thing real? Don't just do this to get internet awareness, or just to get everybody busy. Can you make it real by taking this appeal to make sure you are getting this appeal to the International Criminal Court and the Amnesty International. Now you will see another response. People now reacting to, people are saying, what is happening? Oh, what is happening? Is it that Musa has our Mumu gone Paula Sanko? Mumu because the Paula Sanko. Before we see that one, please permit me. I want us to see how people reacted again, because we need to see people's reactions. Now, last week, I want to give encomium. All Biafrans, please. I want you to type thank you on the comment section. Thank you, our Prime Minister. Thank you, Obatobie. Obatobie, that we call you as from, I think it emanated from Adade Ramma. It's not, we are not giving you the place of God. No, you are not, and can never be. But in this struggle, it is what came to the lips of some Biafrans because of your immeasurable commitments. Before we talk about the reactions from other from media houses in Nigeria, the names people are calling you today, we want you to keep holding up. It is because of the swag you have demonstrated so far. Please keep it up. May God keep blessing, keep upholding, and keep energizing you to do even greater than you have done. So, like, since last week, why I want you to say thank you, type it there in the comment section. And any other way you know you can, just thank him. And he needs to know that he has really done well. And his team, all the people, is it a Chikere, the Minister of Finance, his ministers, but I'm pointing out this particular two now. The Chief of Staff, the Minister of Finance, your efforts have been so very high. I really appreciate you people. Please, dear friends, also thank our ministers. Thank all the members of the government. Please. These ministers, this particular step is a very, very, this is the height of it. It's a very strong diplomatic measure. Yes. From the updates, from the Biafran Republic Governments in Exile update, so far, only last week, the brigade government officials, they met the following US government officials. They went to Washington, D.C., they met with Congressman Mike Johnson, RLA, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, not just ordinary members. They met members, they met officers of the officers of the government, the legislators, the legislative leaders. They met with the Congressman Congressman Michael Maxwell, RTX, Chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Look at the strategic people who they are meeting. What are they discussing? Biafra. It is a very... Now, imagine the number... Okay, let me still mention, they met with Congressman Jim Jordan, ROH. Jim Jordan, ROH. That's the chairman of the House on Judiciary Committee. The Congressman Jeff Van Drew, RNJ. Congressman Tom Kim, RNJ. Congressman Ronnie Jackson, ROTX. Congressman John Carter, ROTX. The Brigade's lobbyist firm Moran Global Strategies arranged and facilitated the aforementioned meetings. Brigade lobbyists are making our voices heard at the highest levels. This is what our PM and his team has been able to achieve only within this week. I am not telling you about the effort of the last week. So these are the things that inspired or that fueled this development you are seeing now. This particular one called for a international criminal court. But as funny as it is, they don't know that now this call they have made is even to, you know, they are seeing that we have met, that there are a lot of advantages that we have gained only within this 1 week. Next week we have a lot of, and I did not bring in the meeting with the Israeli government officials. Yes, the Israeli government officials, and there was also a meeting with Mossad, Israeli Mossad. So, and you remember one thing I kept saying in my programs, for some of you, I don't mean insult, I can only insult those ones who just choose to discourage others. That's the ones I can call neophytes, never do wells. They only want to look for a way to demoralize, to discourage those people who are supporting what we are doing. But unfortunately to them, we are not Amajiris. Igbo man, Ishekiri man, Ijo man, Irobo man is naturally a mentally developed person. Assessing whether Western education, not assessing whether it doesn't have much to do with the mental strength of a Biafran man, an average Biafran man. It is just for those who just allow the spirit of lunacy to overtake them that their consciousness, their acumen get so watered, became so watery that they don't reason like normal human beings anymore. That is why you can see people come up to see trash, write junk, and display a height of foolishness. Those people who are coming to, you know, support us, these are people who are literate, very well exposed, who know social development, intellectual development. They are so intellectually sophisticated enough to know when they are duped, when they are cheated, when somebody is scamming them. But those of our brothers who just choose to be fools, they just keep fooling themselves. The more they fool themselves, the more people know that they are fools. Now look at it. This is diplomatic approach. I told you that no nation will come to support you when you are not taking a democratic step, because the world is flowing with democracy. Even though the kind of democracy they bring to Africa is a concocted one, we know better. That's why we don't want to be hoodwinked into concocted democracy, because with concocted democracy, human society will never develop. That is why Nigeria is where it is. Because the people never for once choose who lead over them. The people never for once determine who lead over them. That is why the people for once never loved anyone who should pretend over their affairs, because they should pretend through the demonstration of might on the pool, through corrupt judiciary. So now we are trying to bring in a society where all man can be comfortable with. If you see, look at what I'm not going to, because it might amount to plagiarism, but look at the kind of things. See the development. This is just happening in Aba. This is G-Wagon car, Jeep, G-Wagon.
Okay.
Can you see this? We have 1,000,001 Biafrans who are super creative.
Yes, your life in Aba.
Biafra is an industrialist. It's an industrial state with high
Okay. That's it.
technology
You can see the park.
very hyper technology brain.
Everything. Put Nigerians when
And these things will always perish
help this guy. This is
with a country like the zoo.
okay. May we know you? Okay.
Whether you are a Yoruba man, whether you are a middle belt man, as we are now grouped, whether you are a man from Hausa, there is nothing for you in as much as you keep maintaining what did not come from you. In as much as we keep on having this kind of kangaroo of election, nothing will work. The ICC now, they are taking the Biafran people to, on whose account, on whose account, on whose name?
Come and pick him up. He can do better than this. He can encourage.
Now people are responding, people are reacting to it. People are reacting. Let's see some of the reactions again. See some of the reactions. Let us see.
Issue is a long-standing one, and I'm not sure that the call from the Nigerian army is necessarily targeted at a particular event that is coming up. I think it's probably more than, in my opinion, I think they even play to the gallery to an extent. I haven't particularly taken their call seriously for one simple reason. The Nigerian army is notorious with its human rights records, in those theaters where they have been in operations trying to combat whatever forces, they might feel that they are legitimately combating, legitimately so. But in the process of defending the territorial integrity of your country, there are rules and conventions all over the world with regards to how you treat even enemy combatants. And the Nigerian army has not been particularly, they've not painted themselves in glory.
So you think that the notoriety in how they carry out their operations is going to, deter the international organization from listening to their calls or their...
Yeah, I think that their call will be taken with a pinch of salt. It almost seems as like a bit of sarcasm to me, everybody. So to put it in common parlance, hey, every time you people are carrying us to ICC and carrying us to Amnesty International, now we too want to go to ICC and Amnesty International. It looks that way to me, because in my view, yes, the way the gentleman was treated was absolutely abominable and must be condemned. I think that the Nigerian army are well equipped to go in and retrieve him and do whatever they need to do while staying within the ambits of the law. So they don't have too much of my sympathy to be
honest. They're having a double way in their story. The Nigerian army of the opinion that this man served, that the man is still in service. Now, is it that the Nigerian army don't really know the man's status? No. Are we having a discrepancy now to determine his own idea?
We have to go with the official statement from the Nigerian army. Nobody would know who works for the Nigerian army more than the Nigerian army themselves. So,
something happened in the division some months ago, where a man, killed a woman, allegedly, though the Nigerian army were like, they are looking into that. It happened there in United Division. The Nigerian army of the opinion that the man who did that, it's not, or was not recruited from the joint task force. And they said he's not a repentant Boko Haram members. Whereas we have other information out there on the social media platform showing that this man was recruited from the joint task force as a repentant Boko Haram member. So do you also think that we're seeing a clear notion of all the stories happening?
Well, it's I guess we would have to take that as a separate case, and maybe that would call to question the integrity of the information that comes out of the Nigerian. And we do know, we've seen in the past that, they've not necessarily painted themselves in glory when it comes to even disseminating factual information about things that are going on. I remember the very unfortunate incident in 2020 where we also saw live videos. I saw live transmission, Instagram live feed, where bullets were being removed from people's legs, and then the Nigerian army came out in an official statement and said it was what do they call it, doctored or something like that. That was a bit ridiculous. So they had a checkered history, and for me, it's the reason I'm a bit unsympathetic towards whatever they're saying now. I think the guy that is being maltreated by IPOB, if that is the case, should be rescued, and they should deal with them with the full force of the law and the might that they have, the might of the state, and that's not about that. Why are they going to the ICC?
Okay.
I don't understand that at all.
Thanks very much. Let me stay with you on this issue. You say something about this case not being isolated. I think it has a broader perspective.
Absolutely.
So in the sense that it should have a broader perspective, do you think that it's some kind of selective justice on the part of the Nigerian army, to take the case of IPOB? With the ICC and Amnesty International, the same Amnesty International and has several times called out the Nigerian army against inhuman treatment to civilians. And again, for the fact that the Nigerian army have not been able to take the same pace of Boko Haram bandits and terrorists to the ICC. You recall what happened when Jonathan tried headlong, to decimate the terrorists, and it was like, oh, we are going to ICC because you are for family staff. You people are killing my people and all of that. So, do you think it amounts to selective justice on the part of the Nigerian army to do one thing in this case and do another in another case in the same jurisdiction?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons that I'm skeptical towards this, because it's one. I mean, look, that's one single individual. One individual that is maltreated by any unlawful means or whatever is too much. You don't have to get to 2 or 3. So we have to condemn that. But my goodness, I mean, the kidnappings that are happening every day in this country, people taking ransom and they're still killing the victims. Where was the Nigerian army and where was the petition to the ICC? When all of these things were happening. For me, it's ridiculous. I think that sometimes these government officials really do need a bit of reorientation. They have to take citizens a bit more seriously than they do.
Does it speak to the complicity or lack of intentionality on the part of the government in fighting insecurity? Do you think should we think in that direction?
Well, I mean, look, that's a bigger problem. That's a big problem that we are grappling with, and we need answers to. Why are the bandits? Why do they seem so powerful?
All right. Now, you got. At least you hear this man now. It is a joke. It's a joke. Of course, when things are happening, the country now, from the other man who told you about the constitution, who spoke to the constitution, this one is also speaking in line, in agreement with that man who spoke to the constitution. There is nothing. This is not a secular state anymore. This is a balkanized state where certain treatment to certain people with kid gloves and special treatment per se, while some other parts of the state are treated like outcasts. So why certain things happen certain places, those who mean actual terror, and this one happened to this. So you can see all of this. People are awake now. This one particular person now is also speaking. He is also afraid though, but you saw him, you see he's still afraid. That's why he will tell you, this one you used to use a one kind serious approach to deal with them. They have done barbaric and all of that, but he still now made his point. Hold it there. We want to also thank our brigade, the Biafran Republic government in exile, by thanking Man Simon Ekpa first of all, and then his team. The delegation to Israel is speaking to another thing. We told you, remember that our PM said, when Biafra will be declared, that the enemy will not allow you to go. That was why some of our brothers, Jovika and the rest, were saying the trash they were saying. He said Simon Ekpa refused to address it. Now it was before. If it was before, he don't reply to everything now again. We do the reply. Yes, Jovika was really blabbing, but today I think he is seeing all this development. The people who are fighting their own fights, they still have the capacity to look around, because their interests will be defended some other place in Africa while they are doing the one they are doing, because those in Africa are funding those who are their neighbor. An opportunity is about to be created for them to punish those who are fueling, sponsoring, supporting those of their neighbor who want to have them wiped out of the surface of the earth. So opportunity being about created, and there will be a democratic approach to help that happen. So there will be an enabling atmosphere to help that happen. Then you will see the mighty in action. Keneberanum Simon Ekpa. Yes, I think this is the second time I express serious satisfaction and pleasure in what the brigade is doing and thumbing up to Simon Ekpa and his team. A delegation, maybe I don't need to read it out. See, these are delegations. See these ones? These are delegations sent. They met in Jerusalem. Yes. And the good thing here is that the priest there prayed for us, prayed for the Biafran delegates, and not be all this kind of wayo thing we are doing here. We are doing here at home. When I went to church on Sunday, went to St. Mark, I was here. I say, these people, what you are doing is a joke, but what can I do? Sometimes I go so that I will know what to say. Now look, this is another batch. Yes. They also met a rabbi. Yes. And it's a Jewish teacher, rabbi. Now this is it. You have seen the delegation. Kagwage now is not just talking. They all met in Jerusalem. All right. Another delegation to Jerusalem. Pastor Benjamin Jonathan. See him here. Pastor Benjamin Jonathan prayed with the Biafran people. You people now don't know that the good guy you people are following, he is all-rounder. He's an all-rounder. He's very diplomatic. As much as you see him carry the kokuma, the ekwe, he is very diplomatic. This is still delegation. They also met with clergy, and in fact, you have seen the picture. So now, not wasting your time, I think we primarily just want to tell you that the appeal to the ICC is a welcome development, and it is leading to some other dimensions of the struggle. We pray, we hope, we wish that this really flies. They should succeed in launching the appeal, so that now we follow up and finish up we have, this, when they tell you you think it is a mere saying, just for saying sake. No, we don't say that for saying sake. Really, it is more. These diplomatic measures, approaches we are taking now, has a way of assisting when this debate will come in the Biafran issue. Maybe the next General Assembly, UN General Assembly, 8 countries will bring Biafran matter to the table. Nigeria no escape them this time. Abanarea this time. We pray they do. Even if they refuse to even proceed with the launching of the appeal, we will make some serious appeal this time. Our PM is preparing for that. He's already prepared that if they refuse to launch the appeal, we will launch it on their behalf. We initiate, because it's time. It's time for real measures. Of course, this is happening in a very good time. It's well timed. This is September, October, November, December. So we have 2 months, about 2 months to 3 weeks plus to conclude the whole thing. It's not up to 2 months plus maybe 1 or 2 weeks. It will be happening. So that the issue of Biafra is getting very fresh across all states that matters in the world. All states, all countries that matters. The issue of Biafra is becoming very fresh. And the particular country that will bring it forward in the UN discourse, we don't need to lobby with money, but we are going to lobby with conscience. We are going to appeal to conscience of people of the world. And this time we are going to be set free. This man told you about the constitution, what you people are using as constitution. Last month, you heard where the House of Representatives said anybody who can't recite the junk of a new national anthem will be imprisoned. Now, so we just they hide for home here like this now. We they hide though. When you talk, you heard our supreme leader's lawyer, Maxwell, complaining of anybody. If you talk, you will be arrested. So are we even going to the airport? Let alone. So we will remain here. We will do our work from home, while you guys do your own from there. It will all come together. Lovers of freedom, we have other broadcasts to make. Thank you. And I just said I need to remind you and then brush through some of these things. Yes, because there are other developments. There are other developments. We were talking about Kanu Takano, his brother. In fact, we have other programs, okay? Thank you. Please share it. Share this program. Let it fly. Let people also remember that I told them something about this from the Northern Elders Forum now, coming from the army. Also, please drop your comments. Drop your comments. Simon Ekpa will do okay. At least if you don't want to say another thing, say thank you to Simon Ekpa. Say thank you to the brigade. Say thank you to the media team. They are all doing very good work. Thank you. Kudos.